Hi Aquarius. We have 3 cards here. The Ten of Earth, the Eight of Water, and the Fortune's Wheel. 2 tens. Again, change happening at the end of something. The Eight of Water, going on a journey, movement, and the Temptation card, the Ego card in the reverse, the Devil card in the reverse. Ending old patterns that have been troublesome, cutting people out of your life or even just having them fall out of your life based on your own vibratory field, who were problematic and who were maybe a bad influence, That's what's happening regardless, which is beautiful. It's part of the big happy changes for you. And absolutely, it's a big happy change to have this energy leave your life. Wow. Okay. Okay, so we have big happy changes. Now, what you're meant to do or keep doing, and maybe that you're already on this path already, or at least start doing if you haven't, if you're not, is we have the Eight of Water. Again, we have this idea of the journey, the spiritual quest, movement, travel. So for those of you who are single, you may want to travel during the month of December. You may find love through your travels. And through your travels, you may end older cycles. You may leave behind older patterns that were, addictive, codependent, problematic in many ways. Could be an individual, or sometimes it's a Capricorn individual. But I don't really see it like that. It's just a general energy of just overly attached to something outside of yourself, seemingly being the thing that brings you happiness or joy or contentment. And it's like, you're like Aquarius, you're like, no, I'm done with that energy. This is happening. This is dropping out of your life regardless. Older patterns around this are being resolved. And in part, it is through you possibly physically traveling. Even if you are coupled, you may decide to go on a journey together, or just choosing to end old patterns. It may be that you make a commitment during the month of December as a couple that we're no longer going to have 2 different kinds of dessert every night after dinner, or one of the milder versions of that. It can run the gamut, obviously. So very interesting energy for you. All right, let's move on to what you're meant to not do or stop doing. The Fortune's Wheel is what you're meant to stop doing or not do. And this is giving things up to chance. You're really meant to be more hands-on, take more responsibility for where you find yourself in love. This is the card of serendipity, of serendipitous meetings, of universal energies coming in to lend a hand. And this is what you're meant to not do or stop doing. So for you, it really, as I already mentioned, you're responsible in the month of December to take advantage of these big happy changes that are available to you through your own awareness, and even compromising certain things in order to move forward. It may be that you have to compromise what felt like a really passionate, intense relationship, but you knew wasn't really for your best and highest good, and you choose to move on, move away from that. And that is the compromise, the sacrifice, if you will, that you're willing to make to lead a happier life, to create big, happy changes for you. It may be difficult because with the Ten of Earth under the deck, there might be a feeling of obligation to this energy, this individual possibly. And so it can be hard, but this is why you have to do it. You have to be the one. You can't just wait for things to change. You have to make that decision and make that forward momentum, make that call, so to speak, to go ahead on this journey, to continue upon this journey. But it is this that creates the change here. You're heeding the call. You're listening to that inner voice that says, I need something more for my life. I want to create changes, and I'm willing to leave things behind in order to have that occur in my life. Regardless of whether you're single or coupled, it's either a actual physical move, a journey, or it is a metaphorical move or journey into a more spiritually based idea and desire for a deeper connection with your spouse, lover, partner. And in doing so, you leave older patterns behind, egoic patterns of being overly reliant or attached to the sex. You know, maybe you guys decide to move into a counseling situation, and that helps to end patterns where you were relying on maybe your sexual connection to try to smooth over some other issues that really needed to be addressed. It's going to vary for many people, obviously, but we do have this idea of the compromise here. And for me, it's kind of coming up as it may feel like a sacrifice, but in truth, it's more of a happy compromise because we have the big happy changes here. Such interesting energy. But again, a lot of focus here on the ending, the 10 of Earth, the Fortune's Wheel being a 10, the 8 of Water being more of that ending energy in terms of the minor arcana. I like to see this temptation in reverse. Again, the Devil card in reverse speaks to a severing of older patterns, egoic energies. And for single people as well, maybe you were only interested in people who were super good looking. And during the month of December, you hear a little whisper in your voice, in your head, you know, there's something more available. You can have a connection that's mind, body, spirit, you know, and you decide to listen to that and move forward. It's going to, you know, obviously vary, but very interesting energy. Just be aware. It may not be as easy as you think, but once you're on the journey, it feels right, you know. But the 10 of Pentacles can feel very heavy and obligatory, like I owe this person to hang around, or how will, you know, codependency, you know, the devil in the upright, the temptation in the upright is all about codependency. And here we have you breaking those patterns. And the 10 of Earth is very codependent energy. You know, obligations like, oh, they need me. What will they do without me? Kind of thing. Well, they'll live their lives and they'll be responsible for their own choices and actions. What you're meant to do or start doing is get a move on. Heed the call, listen to your inner voice and take action. You know, the 2 of Swords in the upright often is waiting for alignment before you take action. And here we have, you know, this energy of just do it. kind of feel to this how it's coming in. Not a lot. It's coming in very clearly, like don't spend a lot of time on that. So there you have it. In terms of what you're meant to not do or stop doing, goes to what we've already, this is in the bedroom. Like if you're in the bedroom, like just get a move on. Do what's feeling right and true for you. If you've been waiting to engage with someone, you're kind of like, it's time to go ahead and do it. Don't do this, which is the 4 of Pentacles. Don't hang on and close down and try to make someone to something they're not, or try to hold on to older patterns. Again, that codependency that's coming up with the being ended here in the bedroom. Like don't hang on to the way things used to be or who you used to have because it feels familiar. You're meant to make a decision to grow and change and move on here. Even in the bedroom, you know, the 8 of Water just in general in love and romance. And in the bedroom, no more just hanging out here. Time to get going here. You know, you're either aligned or you're not. It's time to go. Don't hang on out of fear that you won't get something better. Now, it's, you know, in terms of the bedroom, it could just be like mix things up. If you've been wanting to try something different, either a partner, if you're not in a committed partnership, try something different with a new partner, or try something different in the bedroom. Don't just keep doing it the same old way. Here, mix it up. And here we have the Arising card, the Judgment card, as what you can look forward to regardless. It goes very beautifully with the 8 of Water, which is the spiritual journey, right? The Judgment card is the heeding the call, listening to the changes, and taking action upon them so that you can ascend to the next level in your physical and romantic sexual area here. So whatever changes you're wanting to make, you've been waiting for a sign or waiting for alignment, it's time now. Talk to your partner if you're partnered. Don't hang on to things from the past. Don't try to make it the same way every time. Listen to the call. Mix things up. You can get to a new, deeper level of intimacy, but you have to open up here. When the 4 of Pentacles is in the upright, it's about closing down, not wanting to open up. Be creative here, Aquarius. And if you're single, same thing. Like, just start opening up more and more. Open up your options here. If you've been in a place of inactivity because you're waiting for things to feel just right in order to get back in the dating scene, you're being asked to go ahead and do it. You're ready. You're looking for big happy changes. Well, you have free will, and part of the free will is taking action. You're not just waiting for signs from the universe to let you know for perfect alignment. You're being told here, guided here, to begin change. In order for the changes to occur, you have to take that first step. It's a co-creation here. Again, make some, if there's a compromise that needs to occur, you may not feel completely ready, but that's okay. You're ready enough here. So I'm not going to go on too long about that, but it seems pretty clear. It's really a clear reading for me for you. There may be some misperceptions here under the deck, especially in love, that you might have with a partner. And I think this is speaking mostly to coupled Aquarians. So it may be that you've been doing things a certain way because you think that that's what your partner wants, or that your partner won't be open to some of the things that you're wanting to do in terms of your sexual play. And that may be a misperception. They may be seeing you in the wrong light, and you might have a wrong opinion of what they like and want and are willing or not willing to do. So it's important to have those conversations here in order to ascend to the next level of intimacy and play. It's a very important part of any relationship is the openness and willingness to engage in a variety of experiences in the bedroom, always within your own comfort level. But this is why we have to have a safety and a level of trust with our partner so that we can continue to deepen our connection to one another. So you know this already. I just give you the gentle reminder here as it's coming in, Aquarius. So I hope you find that helpful.